Your well done is in the faithful service. Rambling thoughts about serving, rewards, and what we consider success. Recently, I've been thinking about success and what it actually looks like. Don't worry, I'm not having a midlife crisis. It's just a question that rambles through my mind every now and again, because the answer isn't as straightforward as you might think. As with so many difficult questions, the answer I land on normally is some form of "it depends." All of us make value judgments all the time. That's life. We decide if we need to wash the car or if it looks okay as it is. Do we need to buy new shoes or will these ones last? Can I get away with using these saucepans much longer? Or was the handle falling off one of them enough of a warning that the whole set needs replacing? Side note, if that example seems strangely specific, it's because that's exactly what happened to us last month. The handle fell off our smallest saucepan, and we were so shocked by the potential consequence of that happening to a larger one, we replaced the whole set. Value judgments are part of life, and they're also part of work. We make them all the time. I have an overactive brain, so I listen to podcasts or music while I work, all the time. This means I've casually listened to multiple degree-level theology courses, lecture series, countless hours of sermons and apologetics debates, whilst working for over a decade now. Sometimes I give my mind a mental sorbet. I listen to business and marketing podcasts as a palate cleanser before diving back into the theology again. My current favourite is James Sinclair. He's an entrepreneur who owns a variety of companies in Essex. This week on his podcast, he was asked about the key performance metrics that he keeps track on and why. A value judgment question. What numbers does he choose to keep track of? The easy answer is the profit, of course, but there's actually quite a bit of work to understand how much money your business turns over is actually profit. You may well have sold 100 teddy bears, but if the margin was rubbish on them, you wouldn't make much profit. By contrast, you may have only sold one gold watch, which seems disappointing in terms of raw sales figures, but may well have been far more profitable for your business. I'm not an entrepreneur, and that should be painfully obvious. I'm 44 and I've never been self-employed. I'm not even sure what paperwork I would need to fill out to become self-employed. So why am I listening to podcasts like this? Making value judgments is universal. All of us, regardless of our sector, need to make value judgments. You're making value judgments right now. Is it worth my time reading to this or listening to this? I enjoy discovering where the value is hiding for other people in what they do. Sometimes, as a result of value judgments we make, we set goals for either ourselves or others. Goals or targets are fascinating things, and if we're not careful, they can be really counterproductive. If you've never heard of the 2009 Harvard Business School report Goals Gone Wild, it's well worth a read, even if you only skim it. There are some cracking examples of goals backfiring spectacularly. New York taxi drivers quit earlier on days that it rains because it's easier to hit their daily target rather than working a regular length shift and making a fortune. They knock off early. Employees tend to see targets as ceilings rather than floors of performance, as in everyone relaxes once they've reached the target, so they don't tend to inspire people in the way that you might imagine. And the Ford Pinto scandal, just read about it. Ford took the calculated risk that it was cheaper to settle the inevitable lawsuits than alter the design of the car that they knew to be flawed. It is utterly shocking. We all make value judgments. We all have goals and targets. But how do we know the ones that we are making are any good? Maybe a real life example will help. I run quarterly family parties for our church. They're big community events where we can invite our friends and neighbours to have some fun, play some games, do some craft, and we put on a show about how good God is. How would you know if the events we run are, quotes, a success? Well, it depends. Some people will jump on, well, how many people turned up? That's the church world equivalent of the "how much money did you take today" question you ask when you work in a shop. It's a very rough rule of thumb that doesn't actually indicate whether you're doing well or badly, but it is a very rough indicator of something. Therefore, we value it. It must be important, mustn't it? Well, it depends. Here are 5 things I like to think about when I'm judging the success of our family parties. This list is not exhaustive, but it will give you an idea of what sorts of things are running through my mind. 1. How many people came? If we're asking people to invite friends and families, it's a good indicator of whether anybody is in fact doing that. If we're putting on an event for our local community, we'd much prefer it if our local community knew that and actually wanted to come in and join us. 2. Did anyone new get to perform? We regularly ask young people from our youth group to perform songs that they've learnt as a band. It's a fantastic opportunity for them to have a go at performing on a stage with a really supportive audience to cheer them on. We love enabling that. 3. Did anyone volunteer for the first time? Are there new people from the church stepping up and having a go at volunteering? It's a very easy event for people to start volunteering at. Let's give someone a chance to grow in their confidence and serve in a very supportive environment. 4. Did anyone lead an activity for the first time? Volunteering is one thing, but leading a section or an activity is another. Ensuring your team have enough supplies and equipment is quite another. Parties are a brilliant chance for people who are new to leadership to give it a go. And 5, did people actually enjoy it? We can't just assume that we're running things that people want to attend simply because we opened the doors. Were the activities engaging? Were the crafts well thought through? And were there enough supplies? Are we running an event worth inviting your friends to? You can very easily see that there is more than one success metric. Yes, we do care about how many people attend, but it's far from being the only thing we care about. Blunt instruments make rough cuts. We need to ask some better questions so that we get better answers. There is just one more consideration about value judgments. I would like to submit to you the possibility that when you're working with people, there are 2 sides to any success and you only control one half of them. That is, you are only in control of half of the variables. It is good and right that you do the best you can do and that you review and measure what you can, but you cannot control how someone else responds. That's their business. To meddle with their side of the equation is manipulation. I have no interest in forcing you to do or feel anything. I want you to make choices in the cold light of day, not clouded by emotion. Making decisions for other people is a dangerous game to play. It has the potential to go well if they like the decision you've helped them make, but you will be held entirely responsible when things go wrong. Don't do it. Everyone is responsible for their own response and how they choose to engage with whatever you offer. On a week-to-week basis, I'm a teacher. My responsibility is to teach. I have the responsibility of doing my best. I need to know the material and be confident in what I am teaching before I start the session. I need to deliver the session to the best of my ability, but that is where my responsibility ends. I'm not responsible for how the other person hears the teaching. How could I be? They could deliberately misinterpret me. They could take offence. They could throw flowers and cheer. Any and all of their responses are their responsibility. The words I long to hear are well done, good and faithful servant, not good and successful, not good and impactful, not good and compelling, not good and enthusiastic, not good and trendy, not good and persuasive, not good and effective. Good and faithful. I've said it before, faithful presence is key. God sees and knows far more than I ever will. So if I'm never able to see with my own eyes and understand the positive outcomes as a result of my work, so be it. My task is to be obedient and to do it anyway. Keep showing up. So whatever it is you're working at, do it earnestly. Do your best. Whatever you do, work at it with all your heart, as working for the Lord, not for human masters, since you know that you will receive an inheritance from the Lord as a reward. It is the Lord Christ you are serving. Colossians chapter 3, verses 23 and 24. This is the much maligned Protestant work ethic that is sorely missed in many areas today. Do what you've been entrusted to do faithfully. Whether you see success as the world sees it or not is immaterial. We work for a higher power. Learn to spot success through a lens which is sharper and more accurate. Don't be like the blunt instrument which makes rough cuts. Do what you can to be someone who looks for the positive in things. Finding negative things is cheap and easy. Anyone can do that. Be the person who spots the first signs of spring whilst winter is all around. I'm not naturally good at this. It's a choice I have to make. But I know it's a good choice. I never regret finding the good in things. Thanks for joining me again today for another ramble with my thoughts. I hope it's been worth your while. If you fancy sharing it with a friend, why not send them a link? Grace and peace.